the big breaking news, the huge breaking news that's happened in the last few days. Hardly breaking news anymore, I suppose. It's more like old news, but it is the Micah Parsons trade. He's been traded from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers. It took 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark from the Green Bay Packers to the Dallas Cowboys for Parsons to move over. He's also been extended as well. He has a new 4-year, $188 million contract. That is $47 a year, making him the highest non-quarterback in the NFL. And of course, we have to go straight to our Green Bay Packer aficionado, Adam, because, I mean, you guys don't do this sort of thing. What the hell, man?
No. Very weird, isn't it? It's horrible, actually. I don't like it. I'm not used to this sort of behaviour from our organisation. But yeah, I mean, it's all in is where we are, and that's what it's all about. But yeah, I mean, to see, it's really funny because we spend a lot of first round draft picks on the defense, but we don't go and do this and sort of like trade them away. But historically, obviously, we kind of did a similar thing before. Like, I mean, well, no, not really the trade, but we've had these guys come in before, like Reggie White, which was huge for us, obviously, and it's the obvious comparison that's being thrown around. But yeah, I mean, it's very exciting times because I think it elevates the team just so much further than what it was before, and I think that's the really important thing. And personally, I thought we were going to struggle a little bit in the division. I thought we would come second, was where I had us predicted, and when we did our prediction videos, that's where I had us. But I think now it's very difficult to kind of, that Aiden Hutchinson was the big thing, wasn't it, for the Lions on that side of the ball, and now we've got our own version of that to a certain extent, and so it's really, really difficult to sort of come out and go who's going to win it, but it feels like it's definitely going to be between them two now.
I mean, Andrew, I bet if you were with Mike Parsons, you would not have packed his bag quick enough, being the Giants fan that you are. As soon as, wait, they're going to trade Micah Parsons out of my division? Oh, yeah, more than fine. Get him out of here. Send him up north. He don't have to be our problem anymore. I mean, blockbuster. It's sort of why we watch. It's a big part of why I watch the NFL, isn't it? Is these sort of blockbuster things that happened. I mean, 52.5 sacks in 4 years, 63 tackles for loss, 112 quarterback hits, 4-time Pro Bowler. I mean, like, that's a stud. I mean, they did lose Kenny Clark, who has been, like, really incredible. I mean, one of the best nose tackles, if not maybe second, third, behind, like, Dexter Lawrence for you guys. But you're going to be... Adam's pretty happy. We don't see him happy very often, and he seems pretty damn pleased.
I mean, yeah, they've got to be pleased at that. I mean, I heard a lot of people talking about it around the NFL at the minute, and they were saying that games won with Micah Parsons for the Cowboys compared to when he's out. And that was like virtually like not 100%, but a lot of them came when he was on the field, and then when he wasn't, they had losses. So just that impact that he's going to have straight away for the Packers is going to be there for them as well. Hopefully that's the same scenario for them when he's on the field for them. He's going to elevate them and make them a better team. I thought they've done really, really well, bringing in a lot of really good youngsters on that side of the ball, which is giving them this chance to go out and get a veteran and spend some money on it, because they're not quite spending what Quay Walker, Endering Cooper, Devonta Wyatt in the middle. They're not being paid big bucks yet. So you've and they all look really, really solid. I don't think Van Ness has quite worked out the way expected, but yeah, it means you can go out and buy someone like this, and hopefully it's instant impact, like we said, and instant wins come from him playing, as the stats prove.
Yeah, I mean, it's so fun when things like this happen, and it's so funny because we were talking about it in our deep dive, weren't we, Adam? But like, and you were like, well, this is what they do now. They sit out, they get angry, and then they just eventually resign. And I think obviously you never thought he was going to get traded to the Packers, but you also, I don't think, ever thought he was going to get traded full stop. And like, I mean, it just makes more of a head scratch of what these Dallas Cowboys are doing. I mean, what a dumbass thing to say by Jerry Jones. As soon as he does, he goes, we can do a lot with these 2 first-round picks. We can go out and get ourselves maybe, a Pro Bowl style player. You've just traded away a Pro Bowl style player. Like, what are you doing here, man? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, the dude's nuts.
Wasn't the other thing that we needed to stop the run? So we've gone out and got Kenny Clark. I mean, it's a shame that Kenny Clark's gone. I mean, but it's given what the deal was, you kind of have to do it, and that's fine. But yeah, it's bizarre. It's really odd. I mean, we don't see everything or hear about everything, do we? And you have to think that basically that the relationship just became untenable between the two of them, and that was what the issue was. But yeah, I mean, I think Jerry Jones doing what he's doing, I mean, that's just PR, isn't it? That's just trying to spin it and make it come across as though what I've done isn't ridiculous. But yeah, you could go out and get 2 Pro Bowlers. It's possible. You could do it. But I mean, you're dealing with 2 picks now for the next 2 years that are probably going to be late 20s is what you're looking at, if not even further back. So it really does kind of make you think, yeah, okay, you can get some very, very good players at that point, but you're not going to get what you've just given up. And it just kind of, it feels very strange. It's almost, to me, it feels like it's a way of not tanking, but it's a way of sort of getting a higher pick next year in a legitimate way. And I think maybe there's a bit of forethought behind that. Also, we get rid of this player who's become a problem in the Cowboys' eyes. And, yeah, okay, we're probably going to struggle this year, but I can spin it and say we will improve in other parts of it. So I think that's kind of where he's coming from and what the idea behind it. If a player like this comes up on the market, you just have to go all in for it. I'm surprised that there wasn't more teams linked to him. From what I mean, I don't know if anyone else has heard anything else, but from what I heard, it was the Ravens were interested, but they couldn't get the money together basically in order to pay him through the cap. And the Cardinals was the other one who was interested. They're the 2 that I've heard. I don't know if anyone else has heard anyone else, but you have to go all in for it. And it's just one of them things. You just don't trade these guys away, and it's odd, to say the least, but it wouldn't be the first time that Jerry's done something a little bit odd with it.
And Adam touched on it there, Andrew, is that he has been a little bit of a problem for the Cowboys. He has a podcast. He's been very vocal about his how disgruntled he is in Dallas. Is that something the Packers need to worry about a little bit?
With doubt of Aaron Rodgers, we don't have to worry about anything.
Well, I don't think this is a Parsons sort of like issue that we're really, really talking about. I think it's a Dallas issue, that stems from Jerry Jones, who is also got his own podcast. He's in the media. He spent this whole off season wanting to be in the limelight and everybody talking about them. He stretched this out to the time that it's taken so people can talk about Dallas. So I think that maybe stems from the organization. I know there was talks about Parsons when he came out of college about some character issues, but I don't think this is that. You get veterans that get disgruntled with their organizations, and it's just how the organization deal with it. You don't get these things. You didn't get these types of situations at the Patriots. You don't get these situations overly with the Steelers. Green Bay have had their drama, but that stems from one player that's had drama over everybody else. But the proper organizations keep this under wraps, and that they don't flaunt it out there, whereas Dallas like to do that. So I think it's more of Jerry wanted it out there, and he enjoyed the circus of it, and he enjoyed everybody talking about them. So I think it's a Dallas problem rather than a Parsons problem. And I think you're going to see other players. Maybe you see the likes of CD Lamb now, if things aren't going right, starting to, because it was last year before, he was a bit disgruntled, wasn't he, before he got his deal? He had a little mini holdout. So you might start getting some of the bigger names there, because there's talks, isn't there, that maybe Schottenheimer, they don't really want him and he's there to fall on the sword, and then they're going to do something big and drastic next year. There's lots of talks, I know maybe not now after week 1 with the Longhorns, but saying that they do a package, get Arch Manning, get Steve Sarkisian in the deal as well. And Dak's there and CD's there, and people are talking about this, and it's just how long before the other veterans become disgruntled and on one out of that place?
Just quickly, we did say, didn't we, that we felt so like we kind of ended up at this position where we're like, yeah, of course he's going to re-sign. This is all just a load of rubbish, sort of thing. But quite early on, when this was before CD re-signed, we were a little bit like, they're not going to be able to afford to re-sign all 3 guys, and that was something that we did come out and say quite a lot. I think it just reached the point that because they went so far into that, they just kind of felt like, well, obviously they're going to, but they could have done it. There's no reason why they couldn't have sorted it out and signed him up. So it is strange, but yeah, it's weird to give him away to a rival as well in the same conference. I think that's the other part where it just feels so strange, and I feel like, like I say, the other 2 that I heard was the Ravens and the Cardinals. The Cardinals aren't really would be considered a rival, I wouldn't say. And obviously the Ravens are in the AFC, and it feels like a very weird trade to do because of that as well.
Jeez, Micah come to the AFC North. Oh, God. Ravens are going to beat the Steelers anyway, let alone having Micah Parsons on their team as well. It does mean, though, that obviously the first game, the opening game, 1:20 on UK time, the Dallas Cowboys against the Philadelphia Eagles, coming this Thursday, sorry. I mean, the Cowboys lost both times playing the Eagles last year, and they only scored 6 and 7 against them. And the Eagles scored 34 and 31 in them games. And, like, Andrew, it's a good question for you being a Giants fan. Like, these teams, we've said it already when we talked about in the deep dive, like the Eagles are here to stay. The Commanders, may take a step back, but they're still a very, very good team. The Giants, we're not quite sure what their offense is going to be, but we believe that their defense is getting better and better. I mean, the whole construct of this division is now really changed of potentially Dallas being the worst team now. I mean, I already had them. I think I had them as the bottom one anyway.
I think we all did, didn't we?
We all did. And this has put really the exclamation point on it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it does feel like every one of those organizations has taken a step forward, apart from the Cowboys, which have seemed to have taken 2 steps backwards. I feel like this has been coming for a couple of years. I think the last 2 years I've said, I think the Cowboys are maybe going to have a bit of a drop off, maybe take a step back, but they've managed to maintain that with McCarthy. But I think this is definitely the year that they do take a step back. And like, as you say, I think the Giants have been very positive, and everything that they've done in the offseason will take a step forward. And the other 2 are, especially the Eagles, are just miles ahead. If you look at their roster, top to bottom, and depth as well for the players coming on, they're just going to overpower this Dallas team. So yeah, definitely signs to be worried about if you're a Dallas fan.